table saws, miter joints. No, butt joint. Alright, well, as you can see, we are pretty cleaned out. The floor's been patched and been cleaned by the buffer. So what's left, according to the directions of the epoxy coating, is we are going to put down some water on the floor and brush out any last little bit of dirt that I wasn't able to get out with the broom, and then we are going to let that dry just a little bit and then put a little bit more water down and apply the etching solution around the cellar where I couldn't get, as well as the base of the garage door. And that will also take care of some of this patchwork that we did in the middle of the floor, help etch that out and get it ready for the epoxy coating. So that's the next step. So hopefully it goes pretty quick.
Now that we've got the floor prepped and ready to go, I want to make sure that I do this job right and the epoxy is going to stick. We're going to take the etching solution and mix it in a 5-gallon hot water bucket and mix it thoroughly before pouring it out on the floor. Now you might think that this is an extra step that I didn't really need to take since I already used the buffer, but like I said, I've put a lot of time and effort into this and quite a bit of money for the epoxy solution. And I want to make sure that I don't have to do this again. So taking this extra step is no skin off my back. All I have to do is scrub a little with my shop broom and just wait for it to dry overnight. And the sweeping process is very simple. Just take short, jotting strokes to kind of scrub the floor and maneuver the etching solution around. You'll notice some crackling and popping, but that is perfectly normal. That means the etching solution is doing its job. So spread it around evenly and let it go to work. And now that that's had time to dry overnight, it's time for the lipstick and mascara of this project. Included in your kit is a paint mixer. Stick that in your epoxy color and start spinning until veining has disappeared. Now open up the resin activator and stir it with the included stir stick. Now the mixture of these is a 2-to-1, and the buckets are made in such a fashion that all you have to do is pour half the bucket out of each one. Stir it up very, very thoroughly before pouring on the floor. Now I'll be perfectly honest with you, this is my first time to lay epoxy flooring down, so I was a bit nervous when I started. But it's actually fairly simple. You just roll out sections, small enough that you can lay down your fleck. You can be as heavy-handed as you want with the fleck because it will cover twice this square footage that I'm working with here. Just be careful not to make your sections too big, otherwise you'll get some clumping. But you know, once I finished and stopped and took a look back at what I just completed, It sure did look good to me.
So we just finished the epoxy flooring last night, minus the clear coat, which is what we're going to start today. I had let this sit 24 hours, and now it's ready. Had a little bit of a thunderstorm last night, and I had the windows over there open, and it kind of got a little wet, but fortunately, the floor right here was pretty well cured enough to where the water just kind of beat it up and it wasn't a big problem. Anyway, I got them shut now so I don't make that mistake again. So, in order to get the epoxy coating on, all we are going to need are these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things. I didn't count them prior to, so there you go. What we need is a roller on a stick. Picked up the stick extension pole and the roller at Home Depot for less than $10. The pad came with the kit. This is a clear grip non-slip additive that is going to be put inside the clear coat that came with the kit. This also came with the kit. This will help resist any slippage if you have fluid of like motor oil and water on this epoxy flooring, because I came out here with socks the other day, or excuse me, today, and it was a little slick to the touch, so maybe this will help cure that. It's the first time I've used this product. So far I've been happy with it, so this will be something we'll kind of review and see how it worked out. This is 1 quart, or not 1 quart, but 1 gallon of the clear coat, and it supposedly is meant for 600 square feet. My garage is a little over 300, so this should last me half as well. The only thing that didn't last me was the etching solution. I used the whole thing on this garage floor, but I can get that separately at armorepoxy.com anyway, so it's not a big deal. In order to make this a easy application, I'm going to use my 1 gallon paint stir mixer that I got off rockler.com. So I'm going to do the clear grip additive before I even stir it up, and then I'll just use this to pour it on the floor and then roll it out. So let's get started.
Now this process is going to be pretty straightforward. We're just going to take the lid off the can, of course. Open up the clear grip package and just pour it directly in. And we're just going to take our mixer, insert it at an angle very slowly to keep it from spilling out over the lip. Push down pretty firm to make sure the auger's bottomed out. And tighten up all 4 cams to secure the gasket seal. Give it a few turns, about 30, and you'll be ready to apply it to the floor. And we're just going to pour small sections out, just like we did the epoxy. The first time is going to be getting the roller good and saturated with this clear coat, so you could add another section just like I did here. Once it's good and saturated and slinging it around a little bit, then it just takes a light hand to smooth it out. Just make sure that you have no puddles. And don't press too hard with the roller, otherwise you'll just smear it around instead of roll it on. Now once you get it rolled out in one direction, it's always wise to go in the opposite direction. In retrospect, I should have done this with the epoxy because I did have some discoloration due to sections of the epoxy floor did not get as thick as other sections. You can kind of see that here. Fortunately, the clear coat does help hide some of that discoloration, but not completely. But you know, I'm pretty happy with how it turned out regardless of the discolorations. Now with our last section, after about 2 hours of work, We're just going to roll it out nice and smooth, making sure that there's no more puddles. And we have to use a little firm hand here on the mouth of the garage because it is at an angle. So we just kind of push it a little hard to squeeze out some of the clear coat, and then we smooth it back out. It looks good.
How much I was left with using this little unit. I got half a can left. So I did the entire garage, and I got enough to do another garage if I wanted to. And if you look, the rim is very, very clean. It only did this when I pulled it out and it fell off the auger in there. So with paint and varnish and things like that, these things are great. So guys, I'm halfway through. The rest of it is all cabinetry, and there will be plenty of videos in the future on that. But as far as the garage makeover in regards to the physical aspect of it with the floor and walls, I am completely and utterly done. So guys, leave me comments, tell me what you think, and we'll get started on the cabinets very, very soon. I'll talk to you guys later.